Hello and welcome to a kind of I don't know, tutorial how to install um, Super NES games on your Super Nintendo Entertainment Classic Mini thingy. You know what I mean. Um, well, first off, you need to get Hack 2 or Hack 2. I don't know how to pronounce it. Hack 2. Never mind. You need to get this program. Just Google it. Like, I don't know, um, hack G2. Yeah, on GitHub, apparently. I don't remember where I downloaded the my version actually because it's been a few days and yeah, but you can download it here and yeah, the installer. You need to get the web installer because it updates automatically as far as I know. I'm not sure. And yeah, after you got that, you start your program and attack sheet 2. You can also find it in your programs when you install a. Yeah, by the way, I have a what do you call it? A custom start menu. That's why my Windows 8 isn't as shitty. But you can find it under Team what? Shinkansen. Yeah, so like that. And you start the program. And you can see I have already added a ton of games, also NES games like uh, Home Alone 2 or I don't know, Duckwing Duck. Yeah, just as an example. Um, so you need to go to Module and Mod Store. You go to RetroArch, of course, install your RetroArch Neo, so you can actually flash your SNES Classic Mini to play, what do you call it? I'm not sure. I'm kind of a noob at this, but I kind of figured it out by myself. And yeah. Anyway, you install the RetroArch and you go and install module. And I'm not gonna show this to you, but it will prompt an instruction what to do if your SNES Classic Mini isn't connected at all. Just so you know. So you install that, and after you install that, you go to RetroArch emulators, and you search for NES. There's this blue. Sorry. There's this blue um, font, this blue writing, and you search for NES, of course. In my case, I wanted to play NES games on my NES Classic Mini, and that's why we're gonna look for NES. And there's NES, I personally, I'm sorry, downloaded the Nestopia RetroArch core. So you install that module as well, and then you're pretty much good to go. So you like go to add games, and then you like hang on, let me turn on my external hard drive. Just a minute. I'm unprepared, I know, and I'm making this much longer than it needs to be. I'm really sorry about that, but I usually don't record my voice and do things like that. Um, so you look for your emulators and your games, and your games preferably. We go to my games. Where am I? Ah, there. ROMs. And then you look like for a game, an NES game in that case. Sorry, I got a bit confused right there. NES games. And like, let's say, what do I want to add? I don't know. Let's just add Earthbound Zero just for the shits and giggles. So now it's added. You can see up there, new games, Earthbound Zero. And before you do anything, you right click, go to choose emulator. You click on the Earthbound Zero prompt here. Keep it on Nintendo Entertainment System because this isn't a Famicom Disk System. And choose your emulator you installed. In this case, Nestopia. And click apply. And then you can see here emulator Nestopia. And then you close this window. And yeah. Now we're gonna look for Earthbound Zero. There it is. And then you can, if you want, right click and click, where is it? Download game covers. Then it does a quick automatic Google search. And yeah, well, it's not the, it's the right cover technically. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I don't really care too much. So, and after you've done all this shit, and after you've done all this, let me get my SNES Classic Mini. Just hold on a second. So I'm back. I know my chair kind of creaks. I'm sorry. You gotta connect the SNES Classic Mini with an USB cable that you use for mobile phones, for example. You don't have to use your cable that you got. It's not mandatory. You can also use a normal mobile phone cable. And you gotta turn the system on. That's important. If you don't turn the system on, it won't recognize the system. It's like plugging a cable into an electrical outlet that doesn't get any electricity. Yeah, it's hard to explain. And then, after you've done that, you click synchronize chosen games or game in this case with the NES or SNES Mini. And then it's done. And what's important here is that you choose the right, well, here it says game, choose game. In this case, it's the system. And in my case, I have a European Super NES Mini. But if you're like living in America, of course you choose Super NES USA or Super NES, just as an example, I'm kind of making this awkward, I'm sorry. Yeah. And if you've done that, if you've synchronized your games, then you should be good to go. So there I am again. To clarify, well, if you start the classic NES, you will start in the normal menu. that how do you say this? The normal menu that you get with the stock games, was not being mean, I mean, with the pre-installed games. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. And there's a folder which should say something like more games. You click on that, well, you choose that folder, and there you have all your NES games. And SNES games in my case. And you choose, let's just choose Darkwing Duck just for fun. And there's the loading, and it has the right emulator and stuff. Because when I did this without choosing the correct emulator, it like how do you say this? It just got an error message because it didn't know which emulator to choose, or the emulator it automatically chooses, for a better word, is not installed. So either you install the emulator and get rid of the steps I showed, but I'm a Nostopia guy, and yeah. So yeah, that was the very long tutorial. I'm sorry, this was very awkward, I bet, but I wanted to help people because the tutorials didn't help me. And yeah, I hope this tutorial kinda helps you. Goodbye.